What's up, YouTube? It's JackalGoldKick, and I'm here with Acid Rootz and Bryan delivers you the goods, and we're going to be doing a collaboration review, reviewing the mixtape Rap Hard from 2001 by the rapper Kid Cudi. Now, this is a project by Kid Cudi that I think most people don't really know about. And it's not really a project that's talked about that much. It's very obscure, but I thought it would be interesting to talk about this, especially with two other YouTubers. So I've heard this project plenty of times. I listened to it two more times in preparation for this collaboration review. Now I want to say right off the bat, I am a fan of Kid Cudi. I like his music a lot. He's one of my favorite rappers. I think the music he makes is great. Back when I was checking out his projects in full, Rap Hard was one of the ones I found and I listened to it, and it was very interesting. And this project itself is interesting because this is pretty much Kid Cudi's very first project, and it's the very first thing he made, considering it's 2001. So it's just interesting when you listen to this project and listening to it and just seeing where Kid Cudi started at, how he sounded, how the song sounded, him trying to find his footing, the beginning of Kid Cudi himself. It was really cool. And right off the bat, for me, I want to say that I like this project. I like the Rap Hard mixtape by Kid Cudi from 2001. I think it's a solid project. It's one of my favorite Kid Cudi projects because I just love how raw and just rough and just like hungry like Kid Cudi sounds in this project. It's just very raw and he's just hungry, and I just like that vibe of it. And it's just really cool to hear the beginning of Kid Cudi, where everything started and what his first project sounds like. So I'm gonna go through the songs in the project. There's 12 tracks total, starting with the first track. It's the intro to the Rap Hard mixtape. It's basically Kid Cudi just starting off the mixtape saying, you know, I've been working on this for a while, and if people don't like it, then I don't give a fuck, that kind of thing. So pretty cool intro. Starts off the mixtape, like that one. So track 2 is the first song in the project, which is called I'm Not the Average. The subject matter of the song I'm Not the Average is basically like him just flexing, introducing himself, and just, you know, rapping bars in the song saying, I'm not the average dude, look out for me, this is what I'm about, you know, and this is who I am, you know, kind of thing. Now, I don't know if the production of this song is a Jay-Z type beat that he used, or if it's a Jay-Z song he's remixing, because the beat on this song does sound familiar, but I like this song, I'm Not the Average. And one of the things I love about this mixtape that I think is so cool, and another reason I wanted to, you know, get a collab and, you know, get some attention to this Kid Cudi project, is that I've heard some people say that Kid Cudi, you know, he's not really known for his rapping and it's not really something that is a strong suit of his, but I disagree. You listen to this Rap Hard mixtape, Kid Cudi has it in terms of rap skills. He was spazzing in this mixtape. That's one of the things I love about this project, is I love the singing stuff that Kid Cudi does. It's great that he does that stuff. I like that. But what I love about this project is we get to see the rap version of Kid Cudi. We get to see this version of Kid Cudi where he's just rapping and spitting bars like this hungry MC, just tearing apart tracks. I like that. I just think it's cool, and that's one of the things I love about this project, is it's like the most we get of Kid Cudi just rapping and just sounding hungry, and it's raw, and he's just rapping on tracks, and it's just so cool, and I really like that. So I like the song I'm Not the Average. It's great. I like the beat, though I don't know if it's a Jay-Z song that was remixed or if it's just a Jay-Z type beat, but I like the production. I like the chorus a lot, very catchy. You can tell it's where the early style of Kid Cudi started, with the kind of choruses he was doing. I like the rapping in the song. I like a lot of the lyrics on this project. I also like a lot of the lyrics in this song itself. Just a lot of cool ass lyrics, and I like how Kid Cudi just talks shit and, you know, just talks tough at times on this project. I just like his energy on this project. I really do. He's got this hungry, you know, going in. You know, I want fame and attention in music, and I'm gonna give it my all in this project. I just like his energy and vibe on this project. And this particular song, I'm Not the Average, I like how the lyrics in there. I like how he says, I look down on you, but I'm only 5'10", dude. And I love how he says, tired of dudes talking fly shit about their mouth, acting like they know me in the city, I'm coming out. I love that. I just love that kind of trash talk. And I like how he says, I'm not a bone thug that's ready to rhyme fast. I rhyme at a steady pace, as you can understand that. And I love how he says, instead of talking bullshit, tick for tack, hearing these other dudes spit whack on the track. I just love it, man. I love the lyrics on this project, especially the song I'm Not the Average. Just like a lot of the shit Kid Cudi is talking, I like the lyrics of the song. I like his rapping. I like the chorus. I like the beat. It's a solid song overall. I like the song I'm Not the Average. Definitely a great song. And I just like it a lot. It's Kid Cudi in his rap bag and just killing it rapping wise. It's just cool because Kid Cudi is known as more of like a singing and rapping. But this is like a project where we get to see Kid Cudi just really rap like that. And he's good at it. He does a good job at it. So the third track on the album is Skit 1. I think this is a funny ass skit. This is one of my favorite skits I've heard off a project. When I first heard this skit, I laughed my ass off. It's a fucking funny ass skit because it's somebody that's like it's Kid Cudi himself doing the skit, but it's somebody who's a fan of Kid Cudi playing Kid Cudi's music for this guy that's never heard of Kid Cudi. And it's just a funny skit because he's playing the music for him, and the guy that's listening to it is calling it whack, and he's telling this other guy that's praising it to stop dick riding and stuff like that. And it's just funny as hell. I love the skit. I love the way he's just like, giving his opinion on the music, saying, this Jay-Z like dude, you dick riding this dude. And I just think it's a good skit. And I just think it's really funny, his back and forth with the Kid Cudi fan and the guy that's not really feeling Kid Cudi's music. And the song you hear in the background, I think that's a Kid Cudi song, but it's not on this project, so it must be something unreleased. But that's a pretty cool skit, probably my favorite skit on the project, very funny. So the fourth track is a song called Pushin' Dudes. That's a really good song. I like that song. Really good beat, really good chorus, really good rapping. This is like a motivational, screw the haters, do your thing, chase your career type song. That's the subject matter of this song. Chase your career. Don't let these people bring you down. Don't let these people hold you back. So that's the subject matter of the song. And one of my favorite lyrics from the song is when he says that he kicks people in the face like Chow Yun Fat. I think that's cool. I just like that because that's a martial artist, that's an actor, and it just sounds cool the way he said it, where he said, I'm gonna kick dudes in the grill like Chow Yun Fat. Like, it's just cool. And I like other parts of the song where he says, understand my grind. And I just like the song, good rapping, good beat, good chorus, great song. I like that one a lot. Memorable chorus. And yeah, I like that track, and I like Kid Cudi's energy on it, and I like his rapping on the song. It's just a really good song, and I like that one a lot. I'm trying to remember if I can think of maybe any other lyrics from that song, the Pushin' Dudes. Oh yeah, I like when he says, most dudes are lame, can't hold me back. There's good lyrics on there. I can't remember all of them, but that's a good song. I like that one. So the next song in the project is called Pimpin'. And I don't know what it samples, but this is a pretty good song. It's like a chill, having sex with women, kind of a party type track. It's got a good sample. I like the production on this song. I like the chorus. It's a catchy melody type chorus. Kid Cudi has some good rapping on here. He's got some good flow and delivery. He's got some good lyrics on this song. And it's just a good party, for the women, sex with women type track. And just good rapping, good chorus, good lyrics, good flow and delivery from Kid Cudi. Good production. And I definitely like that one. It's a really good song. And it's pretty solid. So I like Pimpin' as well. I'm trying to think of some lyrics that stand out from that. I would say, I can't think of any at the moment, but that's a good song. So the next track on this Rap Hard mixtape is an interlude. It's a short interlude where Male Whiskey, one of the people Kid Cudi's working with on this project, probably made some of the beats on here. He was mentioning in the intro of the project. He's mentioning how he's made some beats and I'm about to go in the studio, and basically like a message to Kid Cudi, like, come in, let's work on some of these beats I've made. So that's what that is. Pretty cool interlude. There's a nice mixture of interlude skits and songs in this project that I don't mind. So the next track on the song is called On That, and I like this song a lot. It's got a banging, crazy type rap beat. It's kind of a beat that you don't really hear Kid Cudi on. It's an interesting type of rap beat because it's like down, 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 down. That's how it sounds. It just sounds like a very loud and just crazy type rap beat. And it's just not a beat you really hear Kid Cudi on, but I do like the beat on the song. It's a different type of beat, hard hitting. I like Kid Cudi's rapping on the song. I like his lyrics. I like the chorus. I like his flow and delivery. I like the beat on the song. He's basically talking about how I'm that dude, you know, and talking about the women he gets with and his rap skills and stuff like that. And just saying I'm that dude and I spit hot and stuff like that. So just a flexing, showcasing who he is type of person song. That's like the subject matter of that track. And it's a really good song. I like that one a lot. It's a pretty good track. He raps really well in there. Good chorus, good lyrics, good flow and delivery from Kid Cudi. And that's a really good song. I like that one as well. And just has a nice hard-hitting beat that I like. So yeah, I like the song. That great track. So the next song on the project is called Get Your Mind Correct. This is personally my favorite song off this project. It'd probably be one of my favorite Kid Cudi songs. I just love this song. Like, first of all, what I like about Get Your Mind Correct, I love the production on this song. You can tell it's definitely like 2001. It has that feel. And I just love the production of the song. It's like this beat, and it has this like sound effect that comes in it. I love the production on the song. It's so cool. I like how there's like parts of the song in the intro outro where you kind of hear Kid Cudi going in and out and the song kind of fades out. I just really love the production on the song Get Your Mind Correct. And I love the subject matter of the song where he's basically talking about, you know, get your mind correct. And, you know, he's speaking some facts in the song, talking about how, you know, people selling their soul, you know, people doing stupid shit to get famous. And, you know, he's talking about like, you know, that, you know, if I'm not repping, like he was saying something like, if I'm not repping a certain thing that they're repping in the mainstream music wise, then, you know, if I don't rep that, they see my music is whack. You know, he says hip hop revolution should be top priority. I'm the minority, my own minority. All the other bullshit, bottom line, is boring me. Like, I like that he's talking shit on this song, and you know, he's speaking some truth on the song. And he even mentions something about like how some like people super coon it up for the white man's jig. He said something like that in the song as well. So he's just, you know, talking some shit in the song Get Your Mind Correct. And I just like the subject matter of the song. I like what he talks about. I like the lyrics. I like the rapping from him on the song. I like the chorus. I like the flow and delivery. And it's just a really good song. Catchy chorus, very melody, memorable, and just really good rapping from Kid Cudi on this song. And it's definitely my favorite one. It's the most memorable one. I just like it a lot. I'm trying to remember some other lyrics and some of the other things he was saying in the song Get Your Mind Correct. But yeah, I remember one of the things he said was, you know it's hard with the drama. I like that song overall. It's really good. So the next track on the project is Skit 2. It's basically Male Whiskey and somebody else telling Kid Cudi, come through, we got women and drinks and stuff like that. We're gonna have a house party type thing. That's what the skit is. So it's a pretty cool skit. It leads into the next song, which is called Party All the Time. Now this is a pretty good song. This is one, I would say, in terms of like beats, it's definitely one of the best produced songs on this project. I like this song a lot. It kind of feels like an early demo and version of like some of the stuff Kid Cudi would do later on. A lot of the melody and humming, singing and rapping type stuff. I do like the song Party All the Time. It's basically like a party type song, you know, club party, house party with women drinking and smoking, all that type of stuff. That's the kind of vibe of the track. That's the subject matter of the song, and it's a really good song. Like the production a lot. The chorus is really good, melody type chorus. Chorus is really good. I like the rapping from Kid Cudi on the song. It's really great as well. I like the lyrics on this track. I like the flow and delivery from Kid Cudi. I like some of the stuff he says in this track when he's saying, you know, he's talking about him and his boys, and he says, he's talking about some other people, and he's like, they're making y'all bored. Like, I like that. And, he mentions like a convo with a woman saying, well, I call you that D-Pins. Like, just a really good song. I like the chorus. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the Eddie Murphy and Rick James song Party All the Time. Because before I listen to the project and look at the song title, that's what I think of, the Eddie Murphy and Rick James song Party All the Time. I would say, I guess the chorus is like, is there any similarities with this and the Eddie Murphy and Rick James song? Not really. Maybe the only similarity is the name and the chorus, Party All the Time part. But yeah, I like Party All the Time. It's a really good song, really good one. That's a good one. I like that one. So the next song on the project is called Shed a Little Light. I like this one as well. This is a really good song. It has like this very kind of almost dark, wintry type feel to it, and it's basically like just Kid Cudi in the song. The subject matter is basically him talking about the struggles in his life he's going through and wanting to make it in rap and being hungry for it and wanting to make things happen with his music rap career, and talking about some things that happens in his life, and some of it I can relate to, like when he talks about how, you know, there's ants in his food. It's like I used to live at a place where every time I ate cereal, there was fucking ants in the cereal. So I can relate to that when he said that, because that is something I did go through at a certain place I live, where every time I eat cereal, there's always ants in it. So I can relate to that, and I can relate to that. I can relate to that, and I like the subject matter of the song. He's basically talking about shedding a little light. It's like an uplifting, motivational type song, telling people, for all the people trying to make it in careers or make it in your life and do the best you can with what you got and get money and stuff like that. Motivational, uplifting type track. That's the subject matter of the song. That's the vibe of it. That's what he's going for it. And it's a good song, and it's an inspiring song too. Because with this song and this project as well, there were times where I liked to put this project on and listen to it because it helped me get certain things created, mostly like thumbnails and stuff, because this project just has it's like early Kid Cudi before he got famous, before he was known in 2001. He was raw, he was rough, and he was just starting out, and this is the beginning of him and everything he was doing, and it's just so cool because I really like that. Seeing that from certain musicians, I like seeing the early days and seeing the beginning. I just think that stuff is really cool because you just see where everything started, and a lot of times that's where a lot of their best stuff is created. So I like that, and I like to put this project on sometimes to like help me create something or make something, and sometimes it can help me stay in the mood or stay in like the mindset of like me, for example, with the YouTube thing or making videos or thumbnails thing, because it kind of has that driving, going for your dream type of passion thing going for it. That's like what the project feels like. That's what I get from listening to it. So I like this song, Shed a Little Light. That's a really good song, and I like the kind of wintry feel it has, especially near the end of the song and how the beat sounds. It has kind of a dark feel to it, which I like. And then the last song on the project is called Spontaneously Combust. That's a pretty good song as well. I like the beat on that. I like his rapping on there. It's basically like just straight rap song. He raps on the chorus. He raps on the whole song. I like it. It almost feels like a little bit of that old school, like kind of like, I guess, boom bap rap a little bit. I like some of his lyrics on the song. I like how he says it's all metaphorically. And then I like some of the other lyrics in the song when he says, lyrically, I'm a Mac. And then I also, one of my favorite parts of the song, favorite lyrics, is when he says, I spread many, Tupac and Biggie up in me. And, I love his rapping on the song. His lyrics are really good. Chorus on here is really great. And I like this one. The beat's really cool. I like the way the beat sounds. It has kind of like this, it almost feels like a ringtone or some kind of phone thing or some kind of like electricity type sound effect in the beat, which I like. It's a good song. I like it. It's a solid track. So yeah, I like Spontaneously Combust. Chorus is really good, and it's basically the subject of the song is basically just him spitting bars and rapping and just showing that he's dope and he can kill it rapping MC wise. So yeah, that's all the songs on the project. There's 12 tracks total. Overall, when it comes to the Rap Hard mixtape by Kid Cudi from 2001, I like this project. I think it's a solid project. I like the beats on it. I like the lyrics on it. I like the songs on it. I like the skits and the interludes on it. I like Kid Cudi's rapping on it. There's not really any complaints or issues I have with the project itself, honestly. I think it's a cool project to listen to and look at so you can see where everything started with Kid Cudi, how he sounded when he first started out. And I also think it's a cool project to listen to because it's Kid Cudi in his rap shit where he's just rapping on every single song with dope lyrics, dope flow, delivery. He sounds hungry, he sounds raw. It's when he was young, it's the beginning of Kid Cudi. I just think it's really cool because you do get his singing stuff in here and it's done well, but you also get him rapping as well. And I think a lot more people that don't know about this project should listen to it, should check it out, especially if you're Kid Cudi fans, because this is interesting to listen to and check out, especially for being the first project he did, being the beginning, being from 2001. And it's just cool to see where everything started. And yeah, I've heard this project multiple times. I like this project a lot. It's a good project. I can listen to it from start to finish. It's honestly one of my favorite Kid Cudi projects. I like it a lot. I like all the songs on it. I like the interlude skits. I like the beats. I like the lyrics. I like the subject matters. And I just like how raw and just, hungry Kid Cudi sounds in here. It's a really good project. I think it's cool. And You know, because I did hear some people out there say that Kid Cudi's not really known for his rapping stuff, because that was one of the critiques I seen for him for his Insano album, which I didn't get to hear every single song on the album, only a few songs, but you know, if you're someone that doesn't think Kid Cudi can rap or it's not something that's a strong suit, listen to the Rap Hard mixtape because Kid Cudi was rapping his ass off on this project. Rap Hard mixtape has Kid Cudi's best rapping. It's that project literally is Kid Cudi's best rapping. His rapping in that project is freaking awesome. Raps his ass off. He sounds hungry. He kills it. He has great lyrics. That's his best rapping thing I've heard him do easily. So check that out if you think otherwise about his rapping stuff. I'm telling you. But yeah, overall I like the project. If I was to give it a score, I don't know how scores usually work for like reviewing music and movies, but I guess I would give it a 10 if I was to give it a score because I like the project. I like everything on it. There's really no negatives I have. I think it's a really good project by Kid Cudi, and I think it's an interesting one. And I hope this collaboration video with me, Acid Rootz, and Brian Livers the Goods, I hope it exposes this project to more people so more people know about it and they know about this project itself, you know, because I think it's an interesting project. But yeah, that's really all I have to say on my part in this collab reviewing the Rap Hard mixtape from 2001. It's on YouTube if you want to listen to it. I don't think it's on any streaming services. So after my part, you're going to hear what Acid Roots has to say. Then you're going to hear what Brian Delivers You the Goods has to say. That's it for my part. Peace.
What is going on, YouTube? This is Acid Root. So I've got a collaboration review here with JackalGoldKick and Brian Delivers You the Goods. Basically, this project is called Rap Hard. It's by Kid Cudi, and it came out somewhere in 2001. So the thing about this particular project is this is Kid Cudi much before like his debut project, A Kid Named Cudi, back in 2008. I'd have to say in particular. But the thing about this particular project is it's just Kid Cudi before like that sing-songy 808s and heartbreak type stuff that he did like with Kanye West and Jay-Z's The Blueprint 3, some of those type pitches when he was around in 2008 and 2009. It's an interesting pitch that JackalGoldKick informed me about this particular project because I wasn't quite aware of this in particular, and it's kind of a tough to track down mixtape in particular. I'd have to say it's not commonly known about or really talked about much on YouTube, so it's a good pitch to kind of get this one in particular. This is a pretty quality mixtape here, I would definitely have to say. It's an interesting pitch that some of this stuff came out as far back as late 2000, 2001, but possibly 2002, some of those type pitches. I know it was when Kid Cudi was a teenager, probably like 2001, 2002, something like that. It might, but there is a chance that it might have even came out in the year 2000, I'd say. But it's an excellent type concept to get here. It's definitely an excellent type concept to get here. This is pretty potent Kid Cudi just to see some of this type of stuff. I feel like in a lot of ways, this is a pretty excellent full-blown type project that's better than a lot of stuff that was out in 2001. This competes with stuff that was out in like album-wise formats in 2001. This definitely sounds ahead of the times as far as that particular kind of goes on here. There's some songs on here like Spontaneously Combust, and like there's another one on here like I feel like Spontaneously Combust is definitely ahead of stuff that was out in 2001. I kind of feel like Pimpin's a pretty good East Coast type sample type beat that works extremely well. There's some ones like Pushin' Niggas is a pretty excellent type production on here. Real nice glitzy type club type production that works pretty well. It's a real nice tinted and glared type one to kind of get here. There's just some good type ones in particular. And there's one that even had like the sample that Jeezy used on his Go Crazy song from 2005 that came out in the song before that, years before that. So it's an interesting concept. That one was I'm Not the Average. So it's a pretty good pitch to get some of these. Definitely, it's pretty interesting. Is the concept of the potency of this particular project. Was not expecting. I was here thinking that possibly it just would have been more rugged and rough around the edges, but it really wasn't. A lot of this feels like album quality and pitches like that. Now, the thing about this in particular is just the fact that the thing about it was I tried to look up some information about this particular product. There's really not wiki information about this in particular, but I was able to find that in 2005, Kid Cudi left his Cleveland, Ohio hometown with $500 in a demo tape and moved to New York to live with his uncle and pitches like that, I'd have to say. So it makes me question if Rap Hard is the demo that he took with him in 2005 to kind of get himself signed as far as that particular kind of goes, because I'd like to hear that particular demo, just the stuff that Kid Cudi kind of had, because that's basically what Hopsin did with Emerge and some of those type pitches of projects as far as that particular kind of went. It was just an early project. So I don't know if Rap Hard was particularly that demo from 2005 that he carried with him in like his super early years, but I would have to say that this is pretty much like his first project supposedly, so it's a good concept. But basically, there's 8 songs on this particular mixtape. I'd have to say some good concepts here, and out of those 8, I wound up recommending to you 6. That's a dope concept. The only real 2 songs I don't recommend on here would just be Get Your Mind Correct and Shed a Little Light. So to talk about those real quick, basically Get Your Mind Correct, I just wasn't into the production fair. That particular one was just kind of one that was just more of an awkward type one that just, it kind of felt like a creeping kind of, Get Your Mind Correct kind of felt like a creeping type one, a little bit more of like a, not necessarily horrorcore, but just a more ghastly type one to kind of get, but it just didn't have the production type fair that I was looking for as far as like the thrilling typeness of it in particular. I'd have to say one of the few duds on here, full blown, I'd have to say. And then the only other one I didn't appreciate that much was just Shed a Little Light, which to talk about this one, this is basically just kind of like one that was just a very windy type song. They said a lot of brush on the particular song and pitch, just like that as far as that kind of goes. But it's just the cons of that. I don't know. The amalgamation behind it was just not quite as like affable as what I probably would have wanted. It just kind of felt like less of like a song. I just feel like some of that autumn kind of drew just wasn't pulled off quite as well as it needed to be. It was just another one of the few duds on here in particular. But this is a pretty excellent mixtape. Like I said, it's ahead of the times, I'd have to say in particular. So I'll go ahead and talk about the 6 songs I do recommend on here. Basically, a pretty nice one would be Party All the Time. This is a real quality one. I'd have to say this one reminds me more of like late 2000s Kid Cudi. I'd have to say this one just really feels like the Kid Named Cudi mixtape, some of those type fairs as far as that particular kind of goes. Also like the Man on the Moon from 2009, some of those type pitches, I'd have to say. There's like a lazy and kind of feeling swashed, kind of hungover malaise, I'd have to say in particular. And this is just good for some after hours, I'd have to say. So it's definitely a good concept. Kind of reminds me of Heaven at Night by Kid Cudi off of his 2008 mixtape. I'd have to say just really kind of bent and tipsy type one to kind of get. This one's not quite as brazen and quite as noisy as like songs like I'm That or Pushing Niggas or some of those type ones. I'd have to say it's definitely one that's kind of hungover and just this overall lambent and swash as far as that particular kind of goes. It's more after effects of maybe being like 3 o'clock in the morning, 3:30 in the morning as you're getting ready to head home. Some of those type pitches as far as that particular kind of goes. Just some good concepts. Do appreciate this one. I do like the gnarled type fear. I do overall like the appeal of this particular one, Party All the Time. It's just a pretty nice one to kind of get. Just definitely, I definitely feel like this one's pretty ahead of the times as well, just because this particular song was not quite fleshed out as much yet. This was before Kanye West and some of those type fairs as far as that particular kind of goes. So this just feels like college rock, something like that, going to sports bars, house parties, some of those type pitches, just being really hungover as far as that particular would kind of happen. I'd say so. That's a nice one. That's a pretty highlighted one too. This is like a real gnarled one. It's like a gnarled and kind of abrupt nightclub bravado of a song. I'd have to say in particular. It's like some brazen noise to get energized to and get turned up to. I'd have to say in particular. And this is a pretty good buzz track. So this one definitely a more thumping type one to kind of get. This one's probably one of the most sloppy songs on this particular album. It's not sloppy in a bad way, but it's just kind of sloppy, just with like some noise making, kind of bull in the china shop type stuff. I'd have to say in particular. It's kind of another surprising one for Kid Cudi, just because this one doesn't feel like his typical forte as far as that particular kind of goes. But it is a nice song to kind of get. I do appreciate this one. It's just a real kind of brazen type one to kind of get for like some noise making pitches like that. It's a real, probably one of the ones just in the heat of the night, real kind of 11 o'clock at night, midnight type fair to kind of get just with like some good party starting type craze as far as that would kind of go. Spontaneously Combust is another nice one. This is like a glitzy kind of nightclub flash of a song, I'd have to say in particular. This is surprisingly fresh outing jazz for like 2001, I'd have to say in particular. This definitely doesn't feel like it came out of 2001 or 2002, I would have to say in particular. Pretty much ahead of the times, and this is definitely like some good step out noise, I'd have to say. But it's definitely a pretty good pitch to get this one. This is a real nice club hopper, I'd have to say in particular. This really works pretty well for that sort of stuff. Kind of an outlandish kind of song topic in particular. This Kid Cudi on some different type stuff as far as that particular kind of happens, but it works pretty extremely well, I'd have to say. So it's a pretty nice highlight type one. Another good club bop to kind of get on here. A lot of these are pretty social fair. You're going to find that the social score of this project for me gets a pretty high score. I'm Not the Average is a pretty nice one. This is like a soulful kind of New York like step out pizzazz of a song, I'd have to say in particular. This one reminds me of Ghostface Killah and Jay-Z, some of those type folks, I'd have to say. And this is just like some city lights fun, I'd have to say. Definitely some great concepts to get this one in particular. It's definitely some excellent type fare to kind of get this. Definitely reminds me of like Go Crazy by Jeezy, just years before that particular came out. It's a pretty good sample to kind of get here. Just some real nice step out kind of Broadway type pizzazz. Just some East Coast flash that works pretty damn well, I'd have to say. Definite nice one. Pimpin's a pretty nice one as well. This one reminds me of Biggie and Cameron. I'd have to say it's like a sophisticated kind of East Coast candlelight grace of a song, I'd have to say in particular. This real refined, I'd have to suppose in particular. Once again, this reminds me of Cameron and Biggie, some folks like that. There's some good, this is like some mild kind of noir-like festiveness, I'd have to say in particular. It's just some good flavor for that. So I definitely like the concept of this particular one. It's a real nice one. I would definitely say that Pimpin' is like some mild noir-like gracefulness as far as that pitch kind of goes. There's some candlelight type stuff to kind of get in particular. Just like some real good pizzazz for that sort of appeal. Just in a more relatively rambunctious sense. Not quite as like full-blown Goodfellas like, but just within the neighboring community of it. I'd have to say definitely a pretty clever one to kind of get there, I'd have to say. And then Pushing Niggas is a pretty nice one. This is probably this is another high octane type one that works pretty well. This is like a glaring kind of evening jazz of a song for like some social flair, I'd have to say in particular. A real nice one for that sort of pitch. It's like a charismatic and kind of, the song is like a charismatic kind of Friday outing music, I'd have to say in particular. And this is just like some good get tipsy kind of jive, I'd have to say. So this is a good one to get some drinks in your system. This is like the pitch of the night, some of that type fare, or at least getting started, get towards the pitch of the night. I'd probably say this is like some good 8:30. I'd say Pushing Niggas is probably some good 8:30, 9:30 p.m. type stuff to get started with. This is a good pitch of the night as far as that particular kind of goes. There's some good concepts. Works well with Spontaneously Combust and Pimpin', some of those type ones. Just a good overall graceful type night out and some of those type flares. Like I feel like some of the craziest type songs on here would be I'm That and Pushing Niggas, definitely in particular. These are some of the more riveting type ones, but then I feel like Spontaneously Combust is a pretty good calm. Spontaneously Combust is like a pretty good, relatively calm, glitzy kind of night outing, I'd have to say in particular. And then Pimpin's like a real sophisticated type one. And then Party All the Time's like the after hours of being swashed to like 3 o'clock in the morning, I'd have to say. So some good concepts to kind of get that, but I'd have to say there's a lot of good night type flair to kind of get on here. Definitely some pretty good outing type pizzazz. And I definitely would say that I'm Not the Average is like one probably for like 7:30 p.m. as you're getting ready to step out and just enjoy the opening moments of stepping out. So some good concepts for that. Overall, pretty thrilling this night. This is overall just a pretty thrilling night of grace, just stepping out in New York or big cities, places like that, I'd have to say in particular. So what I'm going to score this particular mixtape, me enjoying 6 out of 8 songs out of this particular project. This is some pretty high grade quality stuff. Definitely doesn't feel like it came out of 2001. Definitely doesn't feel like it came out of 2001, but I'm going to go ahead and give this mixtape like an 8.25 out of 10. Definitely some quality type stuff. A revolutionary mixtape here that did a lot. It was a trailblazing type one that was ahead of the times for what particularly came out around this time. It was different from hit albums from 2001 like Devil's Night by D12, Blueprint by Jay-Z. It was before Kanye West. Some of those type folks around that particular time. It was just some good East Coast pizzazz that probably would have made some waves back in the day had to come out around that time. But the social score is going to get a higher score, I'd have to say, than the particular score I give this. The social score is going to get like a 9.25 out of 10. The reason why is because this is just a pretty thrilling night. This is definitely some East Coast type pizzazz that has a lot of appeal towards it. It's lyrical pitches like that, I had to say in particular. There's just some good stuff on here. Some graceful type songs like Pimpin', Pushing Niggas, some of those type ones. Some pounding type ones like I'm That and Pushing Niggas, some of those type ones. I'd have to say I'm the Average is a pretty thrilling night type jazz for some gracefulness. Spontaneously Combust like a good glitzy club song, I had to say, and Party All the Time's like a good after hours type effect to kind of get. So there's just some good pizzazz about a lot of these. Really just few blunders on this particular project, but I like the concept of this project overall. The social pizzazz of it's just like I was saying, like a real thrilling East Coast type night for to kind of step out, socialize, get some drinks in your system, pitches like that. I had to say, flirt with the ladies as far as that particular kind of goes. So some excellent type concepts to get. So in terms of the future, like Kid Cudi dropped 2 projects this year in 2024 called Insano, and then it's like Insano like the Mega Mix, something like that. It's a pretty good pitch to get some of those. I'm definitely going to get to some more Kid Cudi later this year, I'd have to say, as far as that particular kind of house. But this is a pretty excellent mixtape here. I wasn't expecting this as far as it kind of hit. This is a surprise hit mixtape. Definitely one you should invest in and fuck with. I definitely would have to say, because it's definitely some quality stuff that just is throwing in ahead of the times, I'd have to say.
Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you for this collab video with JackalGoldKick tonight, or I'm doing this video in the nighttime, but still returning to you for this collab video with JackalGoldKick. The video he set up that he wanted to do for Kid Cudi's Rap Hard mixtape review. It's a 2003 mixtape that got him started for his rap career. So I'm going to discuss what I listened to for the 12 songs and let you know my thoughts on each track. So let's dive into this track by track and let you know what I think of each song as a whole. So Rap Hard intro was mostly him talking and chattering, and it wasn't bad. It was pretty good. It's the intro track, of course. It's not very long, but it gets to the next track. I'm Not the Average. But pretty much 5 out of 5. I'm Not the Average is a pretty dope song. I really like Kid Cudi's rapping in it. It's pretty good freestyle stuff that he's doing, and I'm really digging it. And the overall beat to it is pretty enjoyable. So this is a 5 out of 5. Skit 1 is one of the intros, one of the interludes, I should say, to this song, to going to the next song, Pushing Ends. I'm not going to say the word due to it being a word I can't say, but basically 5 out of 5 for Skit 1. It's pretty good. It's like 2 minutes and 4 seconds, but it gets the job done with what it's going for. And you get Pushing Ends, pretty much, I really enjoyed this track, his freestyle rap, and the way he's rapping in this track sounds very fresh and original, and I really enjoyed how Kid Cudi was mixing it up with his raps in this one, so this is a 5 out of 5. Pimpin' is a pretty good song in its own way. I had a few critiques with this track, but overall, it's pretty good for what it goes for, so this is a 4.75 out of 5. Interlude is the next track, and it's not long of a song, but it is enjoyable for the most part, so 5 out of 5 on that. Pretty much is a pretty dope song. Keep in mind, he made this mixtape when he was like 18, I believe, at the time, in 2001 or so. But honestly, this mixtape is pretty dope. Technically, it said it came out in 2001, 2002, somewhere around that time. But honestly, I really enjoyed that. So pretty much, it's a 5 out of 5. Get your mind correct. Pretty dope track. Really like this song for how it sounds, and I really enjoyed the overall execution of the song and how Kid Cudi's rapping sounds for the most part. So pretty dope track for the most part. 5 out of 5. Skit 2 is not very long of a song. It goes into the next track, Party All the Time. So this is a 5 out of 5 for Skit 2. Party All the Time, this one was kind of corny in a bit. I didn't hate this track, but I just think it's above decent in a way. There's some good moments in this track, but there's some weak moments during this track. So I would have to give it a 4.25 out of 5. It's above decent, but it's not great in any way. So it's kind of mediocre, if you get what I'm saying. Shed a Little Light is a pretty good song in its own way. I think some of the melody sounds good, but it's the execution. There's some moments where it kind of gets too slow for the melody. And there's some mixing moments in this track, along with Party All the Time. It had some mixing issues too. But overall, pretty good song in its own way. 4.75 out of 5. So Spontaneously Combust was a great track to end this mixtape. I really enjoyed this closing track to the mixtape. So I'd recommend the closing track. It's worth listening to. Kid Cudi's raps and his flows are quite outstanding. And I really enjoyed how this turned out with Spontaneously Combust. So pretty much a 5 out of 5. Overall production, mixing, and execution wise, in my opinion. I think Kid Cudi's Rap Hard mixtape was pretty good. Pretty fresh, for sure. And there's a few critiques I have with this, but off the bat, it's pretty good for what it goes for. I mean, Party All the Time, not my cup of tea. It's above decent, but overall, it's fine for what it goes for. Pretty much, Kid Cudi Rap Hard is getting an 8.5 out of 10. I did enjoy this record, this mixtape, for what it went for, and it's a pretty good mixtape for how it sounds. So definitely check out this mixtape by Kid Cudi, Rap Hard. It's an interesting mixtape. So thanks for watching my take on it, and take it away.